All right, guys, welcome back. Just want to give you guys some tips on if you are looking to install an exhaust on your Corvette C8. So first of all, you're going to need to make sure that you have all the tools that you need, including ratchets, drill attachments if you want to go electric to save some time. Did I already say extensions? Need the extensions, need wobble joints. Socket wobbles are nice too, but double wobble joints, extensions up the wazoo. You're gonna have to remove this trunk liner, just this piece right here. So you're gonna have to remove these two guys on each side to clip in the roof. And then you're gonna take off this back piece, take out the piece of, what is it? I want to say carbon fiber, but it is just this. Why can I not think of what this is? So anyways, you're gonna have to take out the cover that is this material below this. And then you don't have to take out the air filter. It might make it easier, but then you're just gonna have to put it back in. So once you take out the cover, then you can access some of the bolts, but you're gonna want to try to get, if you can, try to take off the bolts from the bottom from your old exhaust once you take off the bumper. So bumper off first, and then take off the inner part of this. And then once the bumper's off, you can try to get your extensions in there. Take off the 3 bolts on this side for this exhaust, and then the 2 bolts on that side. The bottom one is a biatch. It's really hard, but once you get all that stuff off, then it gets better. And try not to strip the bottom bolt. It's very hard to get off and to get back on and torque it to the 60 pounds. That is required, at least for this AWE exhaust. Okay, so once you got all that done, when you're going to put your exhaust in, once you get all your pieces bolted up, put your 2 bolts on loosely on this side, and then tighten the 3 bolts down on this side. I swear it took me like 2 hours to torque these 5 bolts down on the exhaust. It was ridiculous. So anyways, once you do that, once you get your pieces all loosely fitted on with your connectors, here we go. You have your connectors. Make sure your connectors are on before you put all your pieces together. Once I redid this today, I put the bolts facing up so you don't see them. So when you have a car behind you, you don't see the bolts hanging down right here and over there and look stupid. So anyways, I got those bolts facing down, and then the other top ones, it doesn't really matter. So I have those ones facing out there and over there. So anyways, like I said, make sure that once you get this all fitted up together loosely and snug together, then make sure it is off of the frame. And once you basically drive this, I was driving this for about a week. So if you drive this, there's pretty much no way to take this apart. I tried to take this apart today, and it's pretty much impossible because it's all stuck together because I've been getting it up to like 200 degrees or whatever. So make sure you do it right the first time, otherwise you're not going to be able to move it. So make sure it is off the frame. This is a common problem right here. So it usually touches the frame right about here, so you're going to have to try to jack it up with a jack or lift it up and tighten it down once you get it all mocked up, and still leaving the 2 bolts on the left exhaust loose. That's the way that I saw the installation video. So if you can get it off of the frame and then tighten up the last 2 bolts, you should be set. I couldn't fix it because it's stuck together. I've been driving it for a week, like I said. So anyways, I just cut a little bit of the frame off. It's paper thin up at the top, and it's pretty much useless in my opinion. So I cut myself some clearance right there. I think you can see that. So I cut that. It's not focusing. So I cut the clearance that I needed today with a grinder because I didn't want to take off the back piece of the bumper again, or the back piece inside the trunk. So all I did was loosen the 2 exhaust bolts, and then tried to jack it up and nothing moved, so I just tightened it back together and then cut the frame. So yeah, like I said, get everything done right the first time. Make sure it is off the frame. If not, you can cut the frame or hammer in the exhaust pipe if you want to. That's probably not a good idea. Don't want to crack anything. But I think cutting the frame is fine. And make sure your tips are straight and equal. Because like I said, once you get it stuck together, it's not coming off. So just make sure before you put the bumper back on, give it a loose fit. Loosely fit the bumper back on. Once you get the exhaust tips back on, don't plug any of the connectors back in. Once you give it a test fit, make sure that there's only one way that these can go. So the exhaust tips, they go up, because if you put the exhaust piece on upside down, then it's going to hit the bumper and it's not even gonna make it inside the bumper hole right here. So the exhaust has to go up, offset up, and then yeah, make sure everything is good, and then make sure everything's torqued down really tight. Everything is torqued down, and then the other stuff that you're probably not gonna torque is tight too, like the exhaust tips right here. Oh my gosh, that's scared. Thought that was hot for a second. So make sure your exhaust tips are tight, and then also make sure your hangers are tight. The 2 bolts hanging up the exhaust here, then the 2 bolts hanging up the backside with the plastic or insulated thing to hold up the backside of the exhaust. And then, mostly important, line up the fender gap once again. So last time I did it, it was terrible. Luckily, I had to take it off today and I fixed it, got both of the fender gaps pretty much perfect. This one flares out ever so slightly, just a tiny bit. You can't really tell unless you're like right here, but I got the gaps good, because last time there was literally a gap in here and it was so bad, and I was literally embarrassed to drive this car. So anyways, I got this fender gap fixed and the other side as well. So now everything's perfect. Everything's pretty much close enough back here on the exhaust tips, because those probably can't move either, but everything looks pretty dang close. Nothing noticeable to the naked eye. What me and my mom did, I took off the stupid AWE metal piece of plastic, right, or metal piece of aluminum, because that was hitting on that was keeping the bumper off of where it needed to go. And then also make sure when you plug back in the 3 connectors on the back of the car, make sure you stuff those up above and they're not getting smashed on the middle part of the bumper. That will also keep your bumper like an inch off. So once you do all that, just hold your bumper up, and that's assuming that the 2 bottom pieces are off, at least this outside one, but yeah, I think both of them have to be off to put the bumper back on. So once you get the bumper back on, I tightened up this bolt first, or this nut, into the screw hole. I went this one, jumped over to the other side, did that one on the bottom, and then went to the middle, and then the top and the top. And I tried to go loosen this bottom one, go to the middle, and then go back to the bottom one, but that didn't work. So basically just went bottom, bottom, middle, middle, top, top. And I also did tighten up these guys right here. So actually I went bottom, bottom, these guys over there, and then I hit it with the middle, middle, top, top. Okay, so then your gap should be good there, or at least pretty close. And then basically you just button up the bottom. I went on the bottom. You got to do the bottom piece on the outside, and then you have to hit the middle piece, or this last piece right here. And it's hard to get it back in because you have to go like, you have to go like under this piece, and then you have to go over the top of this piece or something. That's basically, you have to make sure everything lines up. There's like 3 pieces that line up back here. And yeah, this has to go, the piece that you put in has to go under this one, but like over the one back there, the top piece of plastic or fiberglass, that's the word I was looking for. So you have to go under this piece and then over the other one. So it's a confusing puzzle piece, and if you mix it up, you can't really bend it that well, so you have to start over if you misalign it. So anyways, hopefully that helps you out. I'm all over the place. This video is 10 minutes, but hopefully these tips help you out to line up your bumper or get your exhaust. Do it right the first time, because if you wait a week, it's going to be stuck together and you're never going to be able to move it again. So worst case, cut your frame or find another option. Anyways, hopefully that helps you guys out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. God bless. Have an awesome rest of your day. Happy exhausting, and I will see you later. Love you guys. Peace.